Hey guys, this is Light, and let's go over the spring season infographic. So I love data like this, but usually, um, it's kind of useless without context, and people interpret it very wrong typically. So yeah, let's get into it. Hopefully you will enjoy my insight on it. So let's see. We have the pre-ban data. So Harsetti, of course, most pre-ban unit in the game. And then so early stages like early on in the season, and yeah, the prebans don't really change that much, except I guess there was a rise in like Payra preban. Payra preban, it was popularized by certain players who were abusing MO Lua, because if you preban Payra, it's very easy to control the other person to death with MO Lua. So yeah, and then most important is probably just late stage. So throughout the season, Harsetti was banned at over 70% of games. This is not surprising. So the way the game is right now is it's very speed oriented, and you cannot abuse your speed without pre-banning Harsetti. I don't think Harsetti will ever leave pre-bans until it is worth it to play slow. As the game is, it is not worth it to be a slow player. And even if you call yourself a slow player, you are probably forced to play some kind of speed unit every game or else you get ran over. That is the current state of the game, and the problem is accentuated by speed units like Renak and Litiga and any other speed unit that they're gonna release. They release tons of speed units every season. Like last season, they added Eligos, they added Emopera, and yeah, those two were enough to like kind of break the game. And Emolua got tons more popular than she was the previous season, mostly because one or two really good high-ranked Emolua players kind of taught people how to abuse her. So yeah, that's kind of how it is. Now let's see, we have, yeah, the pre-ban raids, of course. Nothing crazy. Yeah, look, in Legend, Harsetti is the most pre-ban unit by like a mile. Let's see, first picks, all stages. Okay, forget the all stages, let's go to late stage. So, Emopera. Emopera, Plan, and Polly are the most picked first picks last season. So like, why is this? It's because Emopera is just a safe unit. She can be your cleanser, or she can be a DPS. And if you're insanely fast, then there's like no reason not to pick her. And then Flan, Flan is just a super popular early pick for anyone trying to be aggressive, because she's basically a bridge. She's a bridge that's really hard to kill. If you pick Flan and then you pick your speed unit later, then like Flan can bridge with every speed unit in the game. As long as there's no Solitaria, she's very powerful. Like even though she got a few counters, like being able to tank her out, she's really strong in the speed game still. Just because she's a bridge that you can pick early. Then Emopoli is like the natural response to like Payra and stuff. Because the thing about the game right now is that you have to pick speed units to match the other person's tempo, or else they're gonna completely run you down. So yeah, if someone picks Payra, naturally you're gonna respond with an opener like Emo Poly, or like even Emo Luna, or like Lua, right? So yeah, and if like payer is not available, you just go like down the line of broken openers and whatnot. So yeah. Let's see, win rate. Win rate for first picks. Let's see. Payer 52.9, that's pretty high. Plans 50.9, that's to be expected. Typically cleavers will pick Flan more than other people, so like they kind of drag down her win rate. And Emil Poly, very low win rate compared to the others, 48.6. I feel like this is I feel like you can attribute this to Emil Poly being very weak against cleave unless you're extremely fast. But most ML polys you see on the ladder will be pretty slow with ER, unfortunately, so they just get farmed. Yeah, so not a surprise. Like, this unit is not a very safe opener. You have New Moon Luna, 52% win rate, pretty good still. Then Illinav. Illinav is only first picked in 5% of games, and DDR is only first picked in about 5% of games. So, yeah, this is crazy, right? Because you only first pick these units in a game where Harsetti is available, right? These units are always first picked when Harsetti is available, yet they're only first picked 10% of the time. So yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Well, it's not crazy because Harsetti's pre-banned so often, but it just goes to show like people, yeah, there's just way less turn 2 now. There's way less tank gameplay now because everyone just bans Harsetti instead. Yeah, nothing crazy. There's just Zio 40% win rate. This doesn't mean Zio's a bad unit, by the way. This absolutely does not mean Zio's a bad unit, by the way. Cleavers just have low win rate with her, and like this is like in champion. Oh wait, why am I even looking at champion Nobel? Let's go to legend. Yeah, it's basically the same trend. Oh yeah, so this makes a lot more sense. So DDR and Ilinav, yeah, they're, if our city is banned like almost 80% of games, then these units should be around 20% combined, and they almost are. So yeah, that makes a bit more sense. But yeah, nothing really changed here. Emil Poly slightly higher win rate because you know. And then we have Emil Lua. So this is not surprising at all. So defensive units tend to have higher win rates, and Emil Lua is a very defensive unit because of her CR push passive and her ability to just lock you down with provokes. Like, this Emil Lua unit can be played defensively and extremely offensively, either by disrupting your turn order if you're very aggressive or you're a cleaver, or by controlling you to death with her provokes. This unit is crazy because she's both a defensive unit and an extremely offensive unit at the same time. So yeah, naturally she's going to have very high win rate, and it's the same deal with Peyra, right? Peyra can be very defensive as a cleanser, or she can be very offensive as like a 320 speed Uberia's Tooth DPS that just runs you down. So yeah, these units are very similar, and it highlights an issue, right? These units are very similar. They can be aggressive or defensive. They have, yeah, they have multiple roles, and they do a lot of damage. Like, Lua's counterattacks do a lot of damage to you. And paired with Uberius do a lot of damage too. So yeah, not a surprise that these units are as high as they are. And of course, And of course, like Luna's win rate is gonna be really high. Cleavers who pre-ban Bellion and cleave you with Luna, it's so hard to deal with. So naturally, Luna's win rate is gonna be really high. And then yeah, nothing really else that stands out. Filling out DDR, yeah, they'll be picked as often as Harsetti is available. Nothing special. Yeah, nothing really else stands out. Like Blood Moon Haste. Like he's a defensive unit, of course his win rate is gonna be high. Oh, actually, yeah, this stands out a little bit. Ellie Ghost. Ellie Ghost is basically a pure cleave unit, yet he's 52.8% win rate. That's crazy. That's very crazy. Top 20 picks, late stage. Yeah, this doesn't really matter at all. Let's see, legend and above. DDR, so DDR is picked in 51% of games, and he's banned 48% of the time. So this is the pick rate of the unit, like outside the first pick, right? So DDR, I feel like DDR was like an essential. Like for example, if you're second pick, you always have to worry about the DDR, and I feel like people who were second pick were often forced to play DDR even if they didn't want to, which is why his win rate is so low. It doesn't mean he's bad. It's just that you're forced to pick DDR even when the situation sucks, because there's nothing else to pick. So like, yeah, there's not much you can do. Like, of course he's gonna be low win rate, because he's almost always picked in the fourth slot as second pick, and second pick is not that good. Yeah, nothing crazy. And then Peyra, so when Peyra is picked in like any slot, she's even better. Not surprising. I feel like Peyra again. Peyra had had multiple roles. Even when Harsetti is available, Peyra is still good because she can be a damage dealer that cleanses you. Like this isn't surprising. I'm not gonna lie. I played I played Uberius Peyra in Harsetti games, and I destroyed the Harsetti all the time. The Peyra was some hot stuff, even if you weren't you know, abusing her speed. And Emerald Illinev, it's a shame. It's a shame, but like naturally, Emerald Illinev is really strong when you're playing Harsetti games, right? But naturally, when you take Emerald Illinev out of Harsetti games, her win rate's gonna dip. Because she doesn't really fend off these like these like hyper aggressive units very well, to be honest. And like if you want her to be useful against cleavers, you have to use a cheese build of like 300 ER or something. So yeah, naturally when the game speeds up, Emerald Illinev is worse. So nothing surprising. Lua, high win rate, nothing surprising. Defensive units are OP. Poly is just a tragedy. I feel like she's so strong. Poly is still such a strong unit, but she's forced into situations where it's just not good for her. But the issue is you have nothing better to pick. Like Poly gets screwed by Luas that soul burn or are faster than you. Like Poly gets screwed over by cleavers that are just faster than you. It's just rough. But that doesn't make her a bad unit by any means. PvK, whatever. Hwa Young is a funny unit. Hwa Young is probably like the most cope unit in the game. People really misunderstand this unit, and that's why her win rate is so low. Hwa Young is not built to kill ML Illinev. Hwa Young is not built to kill White Aureus Knights. Hwa Young is not built to kill units that are 30k HP. Hwa Young is built to kill mid HP units like MO Luna and MO Sharon and anything like between them. And that's reality. She is not your tank buster. She does not kill every light unit in the game. That's reality. She's a DPS that's immune to debuffs. So she has to have limitations on what she can kill, you know, for the sake of balance. And with that said, she is definitely the most misused unit in the game. Yeah, Abyssal Euphine. This is honestly a little surprising. Typically, I guess this is a testament to how strong Cleave is now. And typically, Abyssal Euphine is really strong against Cleave. Really strong against aggro in general with her passive. But I feel like with like the newer units, like Bloodica got buffed, Eligos got buffed. Like it was a lot easier to brute force the Euphine. And then like if you tried to pick Euphine as a damage dealer early on and then they slam more, you're kind of dead. So Euphine is a victim of like the broken cleave units right now. I'm not surprised her win rate is so low. Blue Crow, not surprising at all. People tried to pick him into cleavers and they just die. Not surprising at all. Albedo, whatever. Like Orius Knights are picked a lot. Ra's pretty stable. Chenille. I feel like Chenille kind of fell off at the end because of Tori, but like there were so many Chenille games like mid and early season that his win rate is inflated. But let me tell you, I stopped picking Chenille in when Tori was released. Chenille versus Tori is an awful matchup. And this win rate is definitely inflated from like early stages. Now let's see the match data. What's going on here? So this is where we see oh wait, win rates and everything. Let's see, everything is pretty much the same, right? Asia win rate is down from last season. Down, down. The same. Global and Korea on top. Not surprising. Let's global players. So -8 global players. +4 Korean players. I see. And then average matches more in legendary. Wait, more games played in legend and lower win rate. I see. Not understandable. The game is a lot harder now. Actually, let's see. Average games in Emperor 1,000. Not that much different. Okay, this doesn't really say much. No, oh, here we go. The juicy bits. We would like to express our gratitude to all heirs who made the spring 2025 season of World Arena truly special. What? Looking back on this season, one of the most notable changes was the decreased influence of Empyrean Illinev compared to the previous season. Well, yes. ML Illinev was really strong in Harsetti games, but when you get rid of Harsetti, she's much weaker, I must say. This shift appears to have largely been driven by the arrival of bystander Huayang. This is wrong, by the way. ML Hua does not kill Illinev. If you look at stats, if you look at things like E7 RTA stats, you can see that ML Huayang has a very bad win rate against light tanks. So this is wrong. And then the enhancement of Urban Shadow Shoe through the new exclusive equipment. Okay, this is also wrong. I mean, well, it's not wrong. It's not wrong, I guess. But like, units like Emo Shu can only do well with Harsetti Preban, by the way. In particular, Urban Xiaoshu emerged as a meta changer in the mid-season, thriving in team compositions built around high effect resistance. This isn't even true. This isn't even true. There was one legend player, right? There was one legend player. Water Buffalo that was spamming ER Shu. But he was like, there was like a handful of them at most. I don't think so. I think Emo Shu was strong because Peira plus Emo Shu was really strong against slow players. High ER had nothing to do with it. Anyway, midway through the season, balance adjustments such as Ross, Crowd, Yen, they were back into the meta. At the same time, team composition centered around the newly introduced Tori rose to prominence. Yes, agreed. Tori was a must pick almost every single game, and she destroyed Shneo, leading to intense clashes with counter teams designed to stop them. What counters? The late season World Arena meta was ultimately defined by these battles, alongside the emergence of fast-paced team compositions featuring Ellie Ghost and Taeyu. Yes, agreed. Ellie Ghost was the whale cleave unit of last season. If you could outspeed everybody with your Ellie Ghost, you could probably just murder half the ladder. There were like 5 to 10 Korean Ellie Ghost cleavers playing the exact same draft, and they were like top 30 legend the entire season, playing the exact same draft, and they secured legend like multiple days in advance with their broken Ellie Ghost cleave. Parentheses, they were all 320 plus. Yes, Ellie Ghost was very broken. Meanwhile, heroes who could take the first turn like Sea Phantom Polly and Heli and Lua continue to maintain their strong presence. Yes, because these two units are like the most slow player friendly units, and you're forced to pick speed units or else you lose way too much tempo, so yeah, of course they'll be popular. Newly released hero Lone Wolf Pair also gains significant popularity among heirs, yes, and just like I explained earlier, Peira's a safe unit. This season particularly highlighted the strategic value of heroes who could take the first turn. Well, at least they know, right? At least they know that it's an opener meta. Because even the slowest players, like me included, I hate picking openers. I try not to pick openers, but I felt forced to pick an opener every game. At least they know. At least they know the speed units are very high value right now. Meanwhile, New Moon Luna's pre-ban rate has decreased compared to the previous season. Harsetti's ban rate has increased, indicating that many heirs feel significant pressure when facing her. We are currently exploring ways to alleviate this burden. Okay, this is ridiculous. So, the thing about Harsetti, right? So, I feel like I explained this earlier, but I'll say it again. If you want to abuse your speed, you must pre-ban Harsetti. And that's that. If they want to make Harsetti not pre-banned as often, if they want to, I don't know. They have to give people a reason to play slow. Currently, there is no reason to play slow. So I'm not sure. I think people will always prefer to play speed if they have speed. But right now, there is no reason to be like a full-on tank player. You can't be pure turn 2 anymore. You just have to play speed like everyone else. So I'm not sure how they're going to alleviate this. Well, actually, I do. I have a feeling. I think the only way they could possibly alleviate this is by globally banning Harsetti so people don't have to pre-ban her anymore. This is my fear. This is my fear. And if we get to that point, I feel like the speed playstyle might be unstoppable. Especially with the new Fire Lidica and Renak. I am not looking forward to that. So yeah. Harsetti, Harsetti is pre-banned this much because speed is strong and people want to abuse their speed. The only way you can alleviate Harsetti pre-ban is either by making speed weak, which they will never do, because the only thing people farm for in this game is speed. So, yeah, I don't know about this one. And we'd like to address Battle Frenzy. A new Battle Frenzy was introduced at the start of the preseason, and throughout its duration we have closely monitored and analyzed its impact on gameplay and overall balance. Based on our findings, Battle Frenzy effects for Summer 25 will be adjusted as below. Let's see, remove 1500 attack and defense by 500. While this effect originally intended to expand strategic options for attacking heroes by significantly enhancing their stats, it did not have the desired impact and thus we decided to remove it. Next, the effect increased burn, bleed, bomb damage suffered by heroes by 50% has been revised to only burn and bleed, no more bombs. After analyzing the preseason data, we found the effect to be meaningful and have decided to keep it in its revised form. However, continuing to include bomb effects at the same time after the same damage increase carried a higher risk of imbalance. Okay, I feel like the bomb was like the least of the issues, but okay. So we have opted to remove bomb from the effect. We'll keep working to provide new and exciting battle experiences. Okay, and what really bothers me is that they removed RGB Frenzy and have not mentioned a single thing about it. So I feel like the season there's it's just so insignificant, the changes. Or rather, no RGB Frenzy is like taking a step backwards. I think RGB Frenzy was good for the game. But now it feels like there's not really any elements anymore. See, in addition, the summer 2025 season will bring a variety of new changes. We're excited to introduce a hero support system. Oh yeah, so this is where they're giving you 10 fully built units to play with. So yeah, it'll help you with your like master's climb. By the way, I will be doing like a challenge where I try to climb as high as possible only using the 10 heroes provided, but I don't know when I'm going to do that yet. It's going to be a banger though. Finally, the Ultimate World Arena Showdown Eastern World Cup kicks off this summer season with preliminaries. To mark the occasion, the World Arena Battlefield will feature a visually striking new look. Ranked battles will take place on a brand new Eastern World Cup exclusive battlefield with a dynamic stage. Okay. That's nice, I guess. Ah, that's a little disappointing. Yeah. Not too hopeful looking at this, unfortunately. I wish some more things changed, but I guess, what can you do? Yeah, thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed.